Hello and welcome to episode 25 of the Roll Jump Media podcast. I am joined by my recurring panelists, Jose and Luis. Happy Saturday morning, y'all. How's it going?
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
All right, so a preview of what we're going to be talking about in the podcast. Steve and Alex from Minecraft are in Smash. Pokemon Crown of Tundra, we're going to be talking about some news about that. Um, CD Projekt Red's mandatory crunch for Cyberpunk 2077, Xbox Series X previews, and much more. But before we get into that, we're going to do what we usually do and talk about what we've been playing. So, guys, without further ado, go ahead and take over.
All right, I'll just get started then. So what I've been playing, basically I've been playing two games this weekend. I played this two games this weekend, or this past week, sorry.
Lay it on.
So on my PS4, I went back to playing Apex, Apex Legends. I finally have time to play some Apex and get back into it. I actually played some Apex with Uri, and we were so close to the W, but
How many months later and we still don't have a W?
we still don't. We're getting there though. We're getting there. We were really close.
We were really close. That was good coordination at the end with the smoke and everything.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah. I mean, I hadn't played Apex in a while, but it's easy to get back into it again. And even with all the additions to this season, still pretty fun. It's pretty time consuming. But yeah, I'm back in the Apex game.
Yes, sir.
Then in the Switch, I've been playing two games, or I played two games.
Yeah.
I played some Monster Hunter, um, a couple. Well, we actually played a couple of hunts. Sometime was it last weekend?
Um, I don't remember, dude, but it wasn't that far in the past.
Yeah, I might be mistaken. It might have been like a couple months. I mean, a couple weeks ago. But last night we played some Monster Hunter, um,
Uh-huh.
trying to raise our level, or by
Yeah.
level at least.
Yeah.
Yep. And then, like the main game that I've been playing is Mario All Stars, 3D All Stars.
Okay.
I've been playing a lot of Super Mario 64. I actually passed Super Mario 64. I got all the 120 stars. When was it? Like 3 days ago.
Dang, how was
And
that?
it was actually it was really fun. I don't think I've ever passed that game, and if I did, it's been a while. So passing it and playing it again and passing it, uh, it was really fun. Um, I really enjoyed it. There's some challenging parts to it, but it's the kind of like whenever you fell, I always wanted to go back and do it. Um,
I hear you.
and unlike some other like levels in other games, like in Mario games, like Sunshine, no, no
I'm
offense, but
listening. I'm listening. I'm listening.
um, it encouraged me to go back and do it and retry it and get the star, and it was really fun. So yeah, so I'm done with Super Mario 64, and I started playing Super Mario Sunshine, and right now I have like 20 shrines completed, uh,
Okay.
and I'm having a lot of fun with that as well. Um, it's pretty cool. But yeah, that's what I've been playing.
All right. You've been playing some pretty good games, my boy.
Yes.
All right, Jose, you're up next.
All right, so for me, well, the main game I've been playing is Animal Crossing.
I've been really enjoying the update, the October update. Planting the pumpkins and getting all these Halloween recipes, getting ready for Halloween. Um, it's been really fun. I I've also I think I mentioned this in the last podcast, but I was considering starting Donkey Kong Country 2.
To avoid spoilers, use the timestamps in the description.
So I
Yes.
did play it for a while. Um, I was telling Luis though that it didn't. I don't know. I stopped after after like maybe an hour of playing. Um, I don't know. I guess for me, it doesn't feel the same. Um, I think
Wow.
the main problem with it is that I couldn't figure out the controls. Like I would enter a map, but I didn't know how to leave the map to like the main map, I guess you could say. Um, so
Huh. So the map works differently. Like I know in Donkey Kong Country 1, you kind of just if you fail the level, you just got taken back out of the map, and if you pass the level, you got taken back out into the map, and that's just you didn't have to worry about anything else. So is that different in 2?
well, the thing is, you know how it's structured, so that it's like the big map, I guess, and then there's worlds, right?
Yeah.
So, I was able to enter the world, but I didn't know how to leave that world and go back to the main map, I guess.
You had to die or
Um,
pass it, right?
yeah, the thing is, I passed all of the stages in the first world, right? And
Uh-huh.
so it automatically moves you to the next world.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and I was doing the stages in that second world, but then I came across I think it's Funky Kong, um, who he has a plane and he can you can travel to different worlds.
Yeah.
So what I did is I accidentally went back to the first world, but then I couldn't go
Oh.
back to that second world. I didn't know how to do it. So
Oh, did you end up figuring it out though?
no, I mean I gave up. I reset the game,
Yeah.
but then I didn't know. I don't think I saved because
Oh, that's
there's also like a spot where you save,
yeah.
and so I'm like, you know what, whatever, I'm not gonna do this. So I give it up
Oh,
for now.
that's sad.
But I don't know. I might get back into it. I
Yeah.
should have Googled it. It didn't occur to me to Google it, but yeah, I might get back into that.
Yeah.
Um, and then well, I played Super Mario Brothers 35 last night actually,
Yep.
um, and that was fun. I didn't expect it to be so um, how would I say it? High pace, high stakes. Um,
Yeah, that's a
I
good
don't
way
know.
to describe it.
It's really fun actually. I really enjoyed it. But yeah, that's been pretty much it for me.
All right. Cool, cool, cool. All right. So I guess since you brought up Mario 35, I'll also bring up Mario 35. Um, yeah, you said it was kind of hectic. I would say it's more tense. For me, it's more tense because, I'm not the most familiar with OG Mario, and having to be precise with the jumps and having to deal with all the hordes of enemies that the other people bring onto your map is very hectic. And yeah, unless you're like a super pro at the game, your heart's gonna be pumping, man. It's really tough, especially if you're shooting for that number one spot. Ooh, you get number two or
Which we
three, and
never
you're
got.
going. I know, we never got it. Yeah, but we were close. We were close. But yeah, really fun. I'm planning to revisit that really soon. Um, The next one I would talk about would be Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, which Luis also brought up. That game is, I don't know. I'm already at 100 hours into it, and it feels like I only put in like 20. I think it's just because how the game is structured, how the hunts take, if you're not familiar with it, can take like 25 minutes. And those 25 minutes when you just go after you prepare and you get all your weapons right, and if you're doing the story, doing the story quests and the side quests and everything, that it adds up quickly and you just don't know where the time goes. So Really fun game, really fun to experiment. My favorite weapons are the Charge Blade, the Switch Axe, the Great Sword, and the Insect Glaive. So just experimenting with all those and seeing what I can get from different monster parts and everything, really fun. So I'm looking forward to playing that even more and just reigniting my obsession with Monster Hunter, basically. Just in time for Rise. Hopefully I don't get burnt out when Rise comes out. I don't think I will though.
Yeah, try to balance it out.
Yeah. And then I guess the last one I want to talk about is Majora's Mask on the 3DS. To avoid spoilers, use the timestamps in the description. Alright, so y'all know that I've been giving Majora's Mask not the greatest of times. For some reason, I feel like I just wouldn't like the game. And I'm pleased to say that I was wrong about that. So I don't know if it was the 3DS improvements or whatever, but um, I also probably have to give the same shake for Ocarina of Time on the 3DS with the improvements probably to make a really good judgment. But I'm liking Majora's Mask more than Ocarina of Time so far.
Really?
So yeah. So like if you guys have questions, you guys can ask them. But just a real quick overview of what I've been feeling. Um, I feel like the graphical improvement, as somebody that didn't have a 64 and grew up with the PlayStation 1 and wasn't familiar with the graphics, looking at Majora's Mask on the actual 64 is a turnoff visually, and just having that visual update on the 3DS was really nice to have. Um, the mask system. So I thought I wasn't gonna like switching to Deku, Link, and everything, or it's Deku, right? Or what is it called?
Yeah.
Yeah, so far I have Deku Link and the Goron mask as the main masks to have, and both of those things offer a unique. In addition to regular Link, both of those masks offer a change of pace in the gameplay that I really appreciate. So in Ocarina of Time, you're Link the whole time, and it doesn't get boring. But what Majora's Mask has to offer with the mask, you put on Deku Link, and just the fact that you can move faster just by spinning, and traversing the world was
Hmm.
really nice. And also, I don't know, I haven't experimented with this yet, but once you have the Goron mask, and you go out into the open world or whatever, and you can just like spin really fast and traverse that way, it's probably going to be really fun. So, just different ways to approach the world is really nice.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Masterpiece.
yeah,
I'm glad you're playing it.
yeah. I'm glad I'm playing it too. There's just some Zelda things that happen. Things that you get confused by. The one that comes to mind is in the when you go to the mountains and you are trying to get the hot spring water, and you're supposed to move the statue, the Goron statue, and
Yeah.
me not putting it together did not think to move it from behind. So what I tried to do, I tried to bomb it. I tried to do pretty much everything else, like punch it with the freaking Goron mask. I did everything else aside from doing what I was supposed to do, and I ended up like exploring way down where the big chunky Goron is blowing wind at you, and you can't go past that part. And I was being stubborn and trying to go past it anyway. And yeah, I wasn't supposed to do that yet, and I got frustrated. I had to look it up. So some things just don't click in my head because I'm not a like Zelda player since I was a kid. So just like little annoyances like that, pop up. But aside from that, really fun game. And yeah, I don't have much else to say about that. I mean, I don't know if the rewind mechanic is gonna get like monotonous. Like, okay, I get it. You have to rewind at a certain point. Like the first time of doing it, like you feel the weight behind it, but after a while, it's like, all right. I mean, nothing's gonna happen. So, but it was nice to feel it the first time.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Proud of you.
I'm proud of you. Yeah, yeah. So fun time so far. I've been enjoying it. All right. So are you guys ready to move on to the news?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and start off with what I like to call the mention part of the podcast, where we mention different things that happen during the week. The first thing that I want to talk about is Pokemon Crown of Tundra and other little tidbits about Pokemon. So, the Pokemon Company and Nintendo announced that the Crown Tundra, the second set of downloadable content for the blockbuster Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield video games, will launch on October 22nd. So that's less than 3 weeks from now. During the video presentation, Tsunekazu Ishihara, president and CEO of the Pokemon Company, also unveiled newly discovered Pokemon, new game features, and exciting in-game bonuses for Pokemon Sword and Shield, and or the expansion passes, as well as updates to Pokemon Go. So, information for Pokemon fans, people that have the game and are in Pokemon Go and other Pokemon games. Are you guys excited about this? Any information that I skipped over that was also pretty important?
No, I mean it's pretty much uh, covered. You pretty much covered it. I'm excited for it. Obviously, I'm a huge
Yeah,
Pokemon fan, but
true.
by the looks of it, it does look like it is gonna be much more um, content than the first DLC. So I'm really excited about that. It's gonna be a lot more like a lot of legendaries. So I'm looking forward to like the lore that they add in, if they add any lore, because it's Pokemon. But uh, but yeah, I'm excited. It's a nice pre-Pikmin content.
A pre-Pikmin dose. To avoid spoilers, use the timestamps in the description. Is it true that you're going to be I heard that I don't know. Yeah, yeah. I heard that you're going to be encountering, I don't know if it was all the legendaries from the previous games. Is that something? Or was that something different? Was that something that I wasn't completely sure on?
No, you're right. The the past legendary Pokemon will
Yeah.
be available. I do believe that some of the legendaries are gonna be version exclusives. So some of them will appear in Sword, and then some of them will appear in Shield.
Okay.
Um, but they're accessible, I guess, now with this new DLC. So
Yeah.
that's fun too.
Yeah, that is. That is. I mean, I do like Zacian. Is there any legendaries that are as cool as Zacian?
Mm, well, I mean, I don't know what your style is, but
Yeah, yeah. You're
there's
right. You're
there's a
right.
cool there's cool Pokemon.
Yeah.
Zekrom,
Cool.
Zekrom, maybe.
Yeah. So that's your Pokemon news for this week. Moving on to the next news, Apex Legends crossplay beta and a limited time mode is out. The details are from the official website. Players will be able to party up and play together across all currently supported platforms, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Origin, and also Steam once it launches. There's also a new limited time mode called Flashpoint. In this mode, massive zones around towns in Kings Canyon are around Kings Canyon, and they regenerate health and shields over time. And the idea is to bring the feeling of Team Deathmatch to Apex Legends. So if you play Call of Duty Team Deathmatch or any other first-person shooter with Team Deathmatch as multiplayer, it's supposed to give off that feel, which is kind of exciting. I want to try it out. And of course, with the event, there's going to be event limited cosmetics.
So like the
So
usual.
we talked a little bit about Apex, what Luis did, and crossplay is really nice. I have a friend that plays on Xbox, and I would like to play with him, and I don't have an Xbox, so crossplay for that reason is pretty high.
Yeah, I mean, it's always nice to have that option to be able to play with other people in different consoles. And once it comes to the Switch, which I don't even know when that's gonna be, eh, there's gonna be more people playing Apex.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I think Apex has a very um, what's it called? Like a very
bright future.
bright future. Yeah,
Yeah,
ahead of it. So
Yeah, I also agree.
I'm really happy for Respawn. So that's cool.
Yeah, after taking that undeserved L with Titanfall 2, I mean financially, I'm
Yeah.
glad that Apex is popping off for them. Moving on to the next story, we have Resident Evil Infinite Darkness Netflix series. So the details I have are from the trailer description and the Netflix official website for this. Our Resident Evil Infinite Darkness is going to be full 3D CG animation. And here's a description that I have for you. Resident Evil Infinite Darkness will be a horror action series based around the stories of the two popular characters Leon S. Kennedy and Claire Redfield. By adding suspense to dynamic action scenes, this series will reveal a Resident Evil world unlike anything seen before. Um, and I messed up that word. Unlike anything seen before with a sci-fi twist. So, more Resident Evil content coming. This time it's going to be a animation series. Are you guys hyped for this? What do you guys think about it?
It's a series. It's not a movie.
It's a horror action series, it says.
Oh. Um. I mean, I think because they've made movies, CGI movies for the Resident Evil from Resident Evil, uh, and I think those are canon to the story of Resident Evil, to the lore.
Hmm.
So I'm wondering if this series is gonna be adding to the lore of Resident Evil.
Yo, I hope
And
so.
yeah, so exactly like if it does, like it's really cool that they're adding more content with other types of media, not just like video games and well, I guess
Hmm.
the animated movies. So I mean it's really cool, and especially right now that Resident Evil has has been uh, on the rise in terms of like the popularity. People are playing their games again, and there's more video games coming for the Resident Evil franchise.
Hmm.
So it's really cool, that Capcom is giving more Resident Evil content their fans, to the fans. So
Yeah, most
I'm
definitely.
interested. I'm interested in seeing more about it.
Yeah, same here. Actually, just like reading it out loud, I kind of want to hit up Resident Evil 2 and see what that's about.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I played Resident Evil 3, not remake, not 2 remake, so
Oh really? You
sounds
have
fun.
played
Yeah.
two remake?
No, I didn't play 2 remake just because I was being Ray and I was like, there's no dodge button in it. I don't want to play it. But
Wow.
I think I owe it to myself to just give it a shot if I like the RE3 remake.
Mhm. Yeah, I think you should definitely try it. Um, I think
Yeah.
it's a really good game.
Yeah. You think they might have a PS5 version you can hop on in November or something? That'd be tight.
I'm sure there will be. Maybe for the past.
Maybe.
Oh, that's good.
I hope so. That'd be tight. That'd be tight. All right. So the remaining stories are about review roundup. So a few big games came out this week. We're gonna start off with Crash Bandicoot 4. So yesterday I got scores from Metacritic or OpenCritic, and this is what I have for you. Crash Bandicoot 4 has an 85 top critic average on OpenCritic, with a 94% of critics recommending it. Crash Bandicoot 4 is a perfect revitalization of the franchise, building on its series' strong foundation and adding both challenge and modern flair. And all they have right now is pluses. So plus, modern platforming, Crash 4 successfully incorporates a wide variety of modern mechanics and challenges into its classic platforming gameplay. True to Crash, Crash and his companions maintain their roots in both style and humor. Stunning levels. Crash 4 has a diverse set of beautifully crafted levels that will keep players engaged to the end. And just to make a balance and see what a con was, I brought in a Game Informer review. They gave it an 8.5 out of 10, and part of their quote was, "Mastering Crash's aerial acrobatics is highly rewarding, but the journey to get there is occasionally frustrating." And yeah, that's a review roundup for Crash Bandicoot 4. I did not expect for it to score this high. I thought it was going to be like in the 70s, but um, the developers Toys for Bob really did a really good job with this. It seems like.
Yeah, yeah, and from like the comments that from the review that you said, it just sounds like more Crash, you know.
Yeah.
Um, because a lot of like the previous games, a lot of the levels were challenging, and it could be frustrating. So, I mean, it's really cool that a franchise like Crash is doing so well, and and they finally have like a new game, you know, for
Yeah. Yeah.
for
Yeah.
people who grew up with that franchise. But yeah, I mean, it's really cool. I've seen some gameplay of it. It looks really fun. I've never played Crash games before. But yeah, it looks like a good time. And I feel like they added more to this new game.
Hmm.
Uh, so who knows? Maybe in the future, I'll try it out.
Yeah, and I still have the Crash trilogy, and I still haven't gotten past one, so I don't think it's time
Dang.
for me to pick this up just yet. But Crash is up my alley, and the levels just look so dynamic compared to the original ones. There's so much going on. It looks really nice.
Right.
All right, so moving on to the next review roundup, we have Star Wars Squadrons. So Star Wars Squadrons has a 80 top critic average on Metacritic with 78% of the critics recommending it. Star Wars Squadrons isn't the epic Star Wars tale found in the rest of the franchise's games, but it is still a lot of fun and perfectly delivers what it sets out to do. Um, the pluses, fantasy fulfilled. In both gameplay and style, the players live out the starfighter pilot fantasy. Another plus, fun, challenging gameplay. Squadrons has great controls, solid VR support, and a fun campaign and just enough game modes. And negative is wanting more. So many critics felt this was a nice launching off point, but we're left wanting more. And to elaborate, I brought in a review from Happy Consolas. They gave it a 79 out of 100, and part of their quote was Squadrons faithfully delivers Star Wars space combat experience, but it lacks more variety in game modes, starships, and levels. So it seems like Star Wars Squadrons is a really solid game, a really good game, and if it's up your alley, especially, this is going to be it for you, and you like Star Wars. Do you
Yeah,
guys know what,
and again,
what Squadrons is?
yeah, like what the actual game?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I remember they showed it off. I think they released like a trailer, but then they showed it off at the EA Play, um, or EA Live. That event they held
yeah,
this summer,
yeah,
and it's you're basically like in a ship, right? And you're you're playing like as a pilot.
Starfighter. Yeah,
Yeah. Um, and I mean, and I'm guessing there's like you can play like both sides, like the evil side and the Empire side and the good side.
no, I don't have no
And
idea. I don't have that detail for you, Chief.
yeah, and but yeah, like there's story in the game. But honestly, I'm not really that big into like Star Wars games.
Hmm.
So that's why I kind of like missed it.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, but I mean, you know, EA got so much criticism back when they released what was it, Battlefront? No,
Battlefront 2.
what was it? Battlefront 2.
Yeah,
Uh, like the lack of content and the pay to win,
microtransactions.
the
Yeah.
microtransactions and all that.
Hmm.
And so ever since that game, the games that they've been um, releasing in the Star Wars franchise, they've been pretty like solid. So hopefully they for sake of Star Wars fans and Star Wars fans of the games,
Hmm.
that they continue on that path. But yeah, I mean it's really cool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I even heard people saying that even, you know, if even if actually no, I don't remember, so I'm not gonna even go there. But yeah, good game, good game. Um, so the last game I wanted to talk about for reviews is Genshin Impact. So
Mm.
Genshin Impact, we have reviews I found on OpenCritic from Game Informer and Destructoid. So the first one's from Game Informer, and they gave it a 9.3 out of 10.
What the
Uh,
hell?
uh,
Sorry.
this is an amazing smorgasbord of exploration, discovery, combat, and customization worthy of your attention, despite the presence of a predatory monetization model. And Destructoid gave it a 7.5 out of 10. And it says Genshin Impact could be a little more lively than it is when leveling, but the beauty of its world helps suck you in. You really can't beat free, so long as you resist the rather tame temptations to spend money. So not a lot of big names have reviewed it yet. These are the ones that I found that were the most fitting for the podcast, I thought. So it seems like Genshin Impact is a good game. It's just, it has microtransactions that you can potentially spend some money in. I don't know how much because I didn't play it too much, but how do you guys feel about Genshin
Um,
Impact?
I mean, I've seen gameplay of it. Marcos was actually playing a little bit of it yesterday. It's a very pretty game.
It
Um,
is, yeah.
I think the graphics are like, I don't know, like it's really,
It pops.
yeah. And it's not. I mean, this is not to bash like other games, but it's not like cartoony, like Fortnite type of cartoony. Um, but
Yeah.
I don't know, it's still very bright. And I like that. I know, is this one of those games that people were comparing to Breath of the Wild?
Yeah.
I can definitely see the resemblance. Um, I'm not really sure if like the developers have come out and talked about that, if they were inspired by it or not. But yeah, you can definitely see like the inspiration, at least aesthetically. Um, but yeah, it's a really pretty game. I'm not really sure about what the plot of it is. I haven't really um, dived too deep into it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I mean, any new successful game is always welcome. It adds more, hype, competition.
Right, right, right.
But yeah, but I mean, obviously the microtransaction aspect of it is a little iffy. So we shall see if that affects it or not down the line.
I hear you. One thing about it, I play a little bit of it. The climbing mechanic is borderline plagiarism, dude. That that is egregious.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty much exactly the same. They have the little bar and everything off to the side, a little curved stamina bar.
Damn.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Hmm.
But
So
um,
shady.
I think they did do enough to differentiate it. Aside from the climbing, I feel it's so similar. I feel like it's pretty much beat for beat. One thing about it too is like that you kind of feel like this game is also on mobile because when you open up chests and everything, there's different colored gems and different items for you to like just spam square and pick them up, and
Yeah.
that doesn't feel too good. But it also doesn't run at super well. It's like 30 frames I think, but it kind of dips a little. I feel like,
Hmm.
or like it doesn't feel super smooth. So if it was like 60 frames per second, like it would make a big difference for me. But I feel like because it's a mobile game, those kind of things. I don't know if we'll be able to look forward to that kind of patch or improvement. Are you guys ready to move on to the discussion topics?
Yes.
Okay. So the first discussion topic I wanted to bring up is CD Projekt Red doing mandatory crunch for finishing Cyberpunk 2077. This is coming from Sam Chandler from Shack News and Sam Desatoff from GameDaily.biz. So back in last May, or I don't know when it was, but there was a report from Kotaku, Jason Schreier, who wrote that CD Projekt Red had committed to a non-obligatory crunch policy that gave workers the option to engage or not engage in overtime. Now it seems that the policy sentiment is no longer applicable, and the quote from the studio head, Adam Badowski, in response to, them doing mandatory crunch now, he says that the last 6 weeks of our final sprint on a project we've all spent much of our lives on, something we care for deeply. The majority of the team understands that push, especially in light of the fact that we've just sent the game to CERT, and every day brings us visibly closer to shipping the game we want to be proud of. This is one of the hardest decisions I've had to make, but everyone is well compensated for every extra hour they put in. And like in recent years, 10% of the annual profit our company generates in 2020 will be split directly among the team. So it seems like from now until Cyberpunk 2077 is ready, the team's going to be crunching. So um, yeah. How do you guys feel about this crunch within the studio, and do you think it's ethical? Do you think it's unavoidable? How do you feel about it?
Um, well, I think it comes down to consent. I feel like if the workers want to put in the time, because it's one thing, like, because I'm sure the whole team wants the game to be done, right? And
Yeah.
I'm sure there are people who are willing to put in the time and who, you know, love what they do, and so they're willing to, work overtime and and put in all this effort. But it's the mandatory part for me that kind of rubs me the wrong way, because
Mm,
it doesn't like there's no option, It's like, okay, you are gonna work overtime, you are gonna overwork yourself to finish this game. Um, Again, I don't know. I think it's not ethical. I think rushing something is never a good thing. Pokemon, and so I don't think that if you rush something, you'll get the best version of it. Um, I think I don't know. I think it just shows like greed. They want to profit
hmm
off of it as soon as possible, at the expense of the workers. And I don't know. I think it's kind of sad that the industry is still doing this. Um, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I don't know if some regulations need to be put in place, just so that the whole industry can just adjust to it, and address this issue. But yeah, I definitely don't agree with it. Um, I don't agree with it being mandatory because
I hear you.
that that's not that's not good.
Yeah. So yeah, the question I have is like, if they were to delay it a little bit longer, like how much would it affect their bottom line? And um, you know, even I don't, because I understand you're a company, but yeah, like you were saying, like you don't want to put the health of your workers at jeopardy from my
Hmm.
standpoint, for just a boost in a boost in money. And
Yeah.
I mean, I see people like, I understand from a standpoint, like you have your own project you have to do, we've all been through university. We have, we do like all-nighters and things like that. But
Hmm.
in a company where you're kind of like directly involved with your employees like well-being by instituting how much they're supposed to work. There's laws and stuff to prevent this stuff, and I don't know, man. I feel like it shouldn't happen. It shouldn't happen, but I understand the business standpoint. But yeah, I'm really
Yeah.
conflicted about it. I'm really conflicted about it.
Yeah. What I don't understand is, I mean, I don't know where this fear of like losing profit or waiting a little longer comes from, because I mean the game is one of the most anticipated games. I mean, you have Keanu Reeves,
I
like
hear, yeah.
people are gonna buy it. Like people. people are gonna buy it. Like there's no question about it. So I don't understand why you just extending it a little more is such a big deal, or why it why it's so
Mm.
bad that you have to crunch. Um, I think it all comes down to deadlines and deals uh, with stores and putting out the product in time to make the sales and stuff like that. So
Mm.
it's all corporate, I think. Uh, but yeah, it's um, I mean, I kind of agree with Jose. It's like, especially like going back on your word, that you said you weren't gonna do it, but then you did it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Even if you say like, oh yeah, that we compensated, it's kind of like, well, now you look kind of bad, you had said that you weren't gonna do it, and now you're gonna do it, right? Um, but I agree with you guys. I don't know. Like he says, that they wanna have the best product they can have.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so why not just give them more time to do it, and why have this limited amount of time to finish the product? It kind of doesn't make sense to me. Um, uh, you know, and I mean, you can go all psychological and say like, what are the effects of workers who work and crunch,
Yeah.
like how effective that is, versus how effective it is to give them time um, to do their work,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, overall, I think it's crunch is just like a thing that exists due to like the corporations, the deals behind the scenes. And so hopefully crunch. I think more and more it's seen as something that shouldn't happen in the gaming industry.
Yeah.
And hopefully it changes, and it is frowned upon more in the future.
Yeah, I hear you. There's one thing I was thinking about, like even I don't know how I'm thinking of Final Fantasy 14 and something that they added to the game. So um, the developers themselves, like I don't know if I'm thinking that they're getting treated well over at Square Enix because like they're so passionate about their game and they feel like they're appreciated, I guess, and they actually just like on their own free time because they love the game so much they took it home with them. I don't know if they took it home, but they added flying in the original zones, like the zones in Ul'dah, like we've been seeing, like I've been showing you guys.
Right.
They added flying with your mounts in Ul'dah on their own. Like they weren't in the office and they weren't asked to do that from what I've heard. And it was like a surprise to the director that they were doing that. So I feel like that goodwill only comes when you treat your workers well. So I feel like
Yep.
there's benefits to have if you just don't treat your workers like they're just it's just part of the cog basically. Yeah, but yeah, you guys make really good points. You guys really make really good points. So in a broader sense, how do you guys feel about Cyberpunk? Is your hype level about the same like the last time we've talked about it?
For me, it looks interesting. I want to. I was thinking of pre-ordering it back when they talked about it. Yeah, but I held myself, because I needed to chill.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
it looks like a good game. Like I feel like there's gonna be a lot of content in that game, and like other CD Projekt Red, uh, games.
Hmm.
And so I'm still excited to see um, what it ends up being. It could be like one of the best games of the generation. We'll see, but it's still something that I'm still looking forward to. But yeah, like I don't know, like they announced this game what back in E3, right? Last year. Uh, I feel like the
Well,
more
the
we hear about
release
it,
date probably, but the game's been known for a long time.
oh right, right.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, I feel like I don't know, like they could be overhyping the game, and then I don't know, like maybe that final product being, average, or or like it's good, but it's not like the masterpiece that people might be thinking of. And
Mm-hmm.
so I don't know. It's kind of like tough to talk about like the game, but I mean, from what I've seen, uh, and I've seen like very little. I haven't been keeping up with the little presentations that they do, the
Oh yeah, I mean,
Nightwire.
yeah. I think I saw like the first one.
Yeah, I think I saw the first one too.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, from what I've seen, it looks really cool. But I still want to see like actual like gameplay, like people playing it,
Mm-hmm.
uh, to get a feel of it. So we'll see.
Yeah, like first impressions or something.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So that CD Project Red, they're it looks like they're trying to make the best out of their situation that they put themselves in. So I wish the workers the best and the strength to finish this through and not have any adverse effects. You guys ready for the next story?
Yes.
All right, so we're going to be talking about Smash. Steve and Alex from Minecraft are being added as the next DLC character in Smash. This is from Nintendo's official website. Steve and Alex are part of the second Challenger Pack in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Fighters Pass Volume 2, which also includes a new stage and 7 music tracks from the Minecraft series. And today, there was actually a presentation where Sakurai did a deep dive video that revealed more details about the characters and their release date, which is on October 13th. Um, so yeah, we did a whole reaction to this, and we were not too pleased at the time. So I don't know how y'all feel about it now after you had time to settle with it and understand what's being given to us.
Yeah. I think like when I first saw the trailer, I was one of those people who was kind of disappointed.
Yeah,
Um, maybe I think I was more disappointed because I didn't get to see a character that I wanted. Um,
yeah,
but uh, like after the whole presentation, giving it a few thoughts and uh, watching like and seeing some thoughts like on Twitter and YouTube and from other people, it kind of warmed up to me. The idea of having Steve in Smash. Uh, I don't know. I come to realize, at this point, these characters are just like extra characters given to us, right?
mm,
And like for me, I mean, we already have, you know, 75 characters, and counting. Uh, like at the end of the day, I feel like uh, there's gonna be characters that we want them to be in the game that are not gonna be in the game. It's impossible to have every character everyone wants in the game. Uh, and looking at Steve and Minecraft and what it represents, I think it makes sense. It's a game that for a lot of people or for like a new generation, it was a game that you know that inspired them or that they grew up with and it's their childhood and a lot of people have been asking for Steve to be in Smash, so I understand that. So I'm not against it. Again, it was just a little disappointing to me to see Steve before other characters that I wanted.
yeah.
Uh, but I mean, I understand it. And I don't know if you guys, or you, Ray, I don't know if you saw the presentation that there was earlier today.
I saw most of it.
Yeah, I saw that too. And I mean, I don't know, like looking at all the moves that Sakurai implemented for the fighter for Steve, like there's so many details that he got from the game and
Yeah,
he put in the the moves and the specials and it's kind of like it's pretty it's pretty amazing, and I like that. I like that Sakurai is able to add his touch and pay homage to like the characters original games,
yeah,
like details from those games. So seeing that it really like it made me I'm glad, I'm glad to see Steve in Smash for other people. Maybe not for me. Like I gotta stop being selfish. We already got plenty of other characters, or at least for me that I'm happy with. And I'm just at this point, I'm just like, you know, I just want to be surprised, see what else we get for the next four fighters.
Yeah, that's well said. Before I chime in, Jose, do you have thought about it?
Yeah, and I think I mentioned this to you yesterday. I don't see what the big deal is. I think this edition was bound to happen eventually. If not, when was it on Thursday? No, yeah, Thursday. If they're on Thursday, then I don't know, maybe the next pass or I just feel like Minecraft being added or like representative from Minecraft in Smash was something that was going to happen eventually. Um, so I mean, I'm just glad that they kind of. I mean, I know it sounds kind of bad, but that they got it out of the way. Um, I know. I mean, at first glance, yeah, it's a very different. Like I don't know, like the aesthetic of the game. Like it just doesn't mesh well, or you would think that it doesn't mesh well with the Super Smash Brothers design
Hmm.
or graphics. But Sakurai made it work. Um, I'm all for and I've always said it. I've always said this. I'm all for you know weird like quirky cartoony characters in Smash. It's one of the reasons why I want Crash and Spyro, Rayman, um, and I mean Steve is not a cartoon, per se, but it's a very different design. It's a very kind of weird design that I like that it's added because it adds variety. Um, Especially, and I mean, again, this is not to bash, a certain game or anything, but like with all these like um, Fire Emblem characters and
Hmm.
Xenoblade, well, it's just one Xenoblade character. It kind of blends. It kind of becomes a little monotonous for me. Um, so adding this different, block, human thing into the mix, kind of, makes it a little more exciting. Um, but yeah, I mean, I'm not. It's not like I was against it. I mean, I'm not too excited about it, but I mean, it's nice that they're adding something different. Um, and I think people are just gonna get over it after a while. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah,
But yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You guys basically said everything that I wanted to say. I
Mhm.
was probably one of the saltier ones when I first seen it. I was expecting Sora, I was expecting Dante, something like that. And to get hit by Minecraft was, it felt like a slap in the face at the time. But we're passionate. I'm passionate about Smash, so once I had time to cool off and started thinking about Minecraft and how its addition would be a good representation of the video game landscape, I
Mhm.
was okay with it. Also, did you see that in the presentation? Sakurai had a freaking prop where it was an axe, and also he can like
Yeah,
switch it
that
to
was
a
cool.
sword. Dude, that was sick.
I wonder if they like. I mean, I'm sure it's like you can buy it, right? You can purchase it, or
They need to sell that.
that's
They should
cool.
sell that.
Maybe they
Yeah.
send that to him, like the what is it, Mojang?
Yeah, probably.
I
Yeah.
mean, another thing to consider is, um, like Minecraft is more. Obviously, it's a newer game, so it appeals more to like young, like the younger demographic. Um, so I mean, it's understandable that other like older people, older and all the older audience doesn't really resonate a lot with it. Um, but I mean, you can say that about like any of the other characters that this younger generation isn't really familiar with, like Terry. I'm sure a
I,
lot of people were like, "Who's this person? Like, what the hell? This is underwhelming."
yeah.
So I mean, it's kind of. I mean, it's at the end of the day, this is a gaming. Um, what is it like a
Celebration of gaming.
Yeah, 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 exactly. And so you're gonna have, the older representatives, the older icons of gaming, but you have to understand that obviously it's not stagnant. Like there's gonna be new icons, coming in and continuing this legacy of gaming.
Yeah.
And it might not be something that you're familiar with or that you like, but it is part of gaming, and you
Yeah.
can't
Yeah.
deny that Minecraft is part of gaming.
Well said. Well said, Jose. And that brings us to our last story of the day. And that story is about the Xbox Series X. So you guys probably seen that people have been getting Xbox Series X consoles. They're not the full consoles. There are some limitations to them, I believe. But they've been getting them, and previews have been coming up. So the Xbox Series X preview roundup. This is details I got from Henry St. Ledger from Tech Radar. What he did was he got different descriptions from different outlets about what they felt about the Xbox Series X unit that they have. So the first one we have is from The Verge. The Verge emphasized load times, or I don't know if they emphasized it, but he pointed out load times. Games have had their load times cut by up to a minute or more. From GameSpot, he brought out quick resume. Swapping between games takes about 5 to 8 seconds. Eurogamer, they talked about improvements to existing games resolution and performance targets. IGN talked about it being quiet and quick. The system is almost inaudible when it's idle and still pretty quiet when running Red Dead Redemption 2. And VentureV talked about the gamepad being the best feeling Microsoft gamepad ever. So just some details about people having their hands on it and actually confirming that the stuff that they've been telling us this whole time is actually going to be coming to fruition. So, out of all these details, does one of them intrigue you guys, or have you hyped about the next generation?
Um, I mean, not exactly hyped, but I mean, it's things like this that make you kind of notice the small details, like the loading times, things like that, um, that maybe don't necessarily like make or break a game, but um, like it's something that you'll appreciate once as a player, once you're playing.
Yeah,
And so it's cool. It's cool that they're paying attention to those details. It's not, all about the graphics. It's also loading times. It's also, the menu, things like that. So I'm glad that's improving. It adds, or it makes for a better gaming experience.
right.
Um, so I mean, kudos to them for, you know, improving that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Luis.
Sorry. Yeah, I was gonna basically say the same thing as Jose. The loading times. I think that's one of the biggest things. Sony and Microsoft, with this new generation, they've been trying to sell to consumers,
Mhm.
and I think it's cool, and we've seen gameplay of games as well, of how fast they load and how, even though there's a lot of happening in the game itself, there's no stuttering and there's no loading, right, or drop of frames and stuff like that. So
Right.
that's really cool. Um, but yeah, that's one of the biggest things for me,
Same.
this generation.
Same. Yeah. I don't have much to add. I just hope more games are 60 frames per second. That's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, like a side note, it's not about Xbox, but I was seeing a video about Spider-Man PS4 versus PS5 on performance mode when it's running 60 frames per second. And
Oh, yeah, I saw that too.
yeah, and I didn't realize how heavily 60 frames per second like actually taxes the system because even on the PS5, like the graphical capability of it, it was worse than the PS4 version, running at like 30. Like you could see some shadows were missing, and there was a little bit of less density, I guess. And I was like, wow, 60 frames per second must be pretty tough to hit in a game, as
Mhm.
intricate as Spider-Man.
Yeah, I saw that video too, and it looks really smooth.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, you can't underestimate the smoothness. I can't wait to try it out. All right, well, that's going to bring us to the end of all of our stories for today. That only leaves us with Pass or Play. So, how Pass or Play works, if you are new here, we take a quote from the back of a video game box, and based off of that quote, we present it to the rest of the panel, and they have to guess what that game is, if they can, and if they would play it or pass on it. So, this week is going to be me and my co host, Luis.
Yep.
Luis, I'm going to give you the finale, and I will go first.
All right.
Okay. All right, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Okay. There's going to be a lot of blanks, so I apologize for that. A lot of stuff gave it away, but I thought it was still a good pick. The battle has begun. The city is at risk, and only you can save it from the evil clutches of an old enemy, the powerful Blank. He has a mysterious new device that will make his destruction even more deadly. But with Blank on the job, he is in for the shock of his life. Blank has been joined by others in a nefarious scheme to bring the city to its knees. There are new attacks and combos. Blank's got a brand new bag of tricks, including Ice and Taser Blank. You are what you wear. Create a Blank lets you equip Blank with the right tools for the right job. End of quote.
And okay, I think I have a guess of what it could be. I think it's a Mega Man game. So to speak.
Mega Man?
Um, yeah, I don't know which one. Um, just because it sounds like the ice and taser part that kind of reminded me of that.
Okay.
And then it's you are what you wear. So, well, but I don't know if Mega Man can change. Uh, what else?
I
Uh,
did bring a Mega Man game before, so you guys think I would bring a Mega Man game again?
could be. You are what you wear. What other character changes depending on what you wear? Um, I was also thinking of Sonic, but I don't think Sonic um, changes. But um, so I would play only because I like that whole aspect of changing your powers. Um, uh,
Okay.
but I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm between Mega Man or Sonic. I'm gonna go with Mega Man only because I don't remember Sonic ever being able to like change his powers depending on what he wears or
Mm.
so I'm gonna go with a Mega Man game. That's my guess. And but yeah, I would play.
Okay, cool. You think it's Mega Man you're gonna play? Jose, got it.
I'll play, but I don't know what it is.
All
I was
right.
thinking like I don't know. One of the first things that I thought was Crash, but I don't know.
Okay. Okay.
Especially this new one. If you wear a mask, I mean, you get new powers. But I'm gonna play, but I don't know what it is.
Okay. Yeah, I really threw you guys off with this one. Yeah, I was thrown off by reading it. It's like this is actually the description for this game. So, the game is one of my childhood games that I played back on the PlayStation 1. Spider-Man 2 Enter Electro.
What? What?
Yeah. In that game, Spider-Man had ice webbing and taser webbing.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah. Yeah, so the enemy that they were referring to was Electro, and it was create a spider.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
that part about the shock of his life or something.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
thought that
yeah.
was maybe a pun, but it never occurred to me that it could be like Spider-Man. I didn't even know Spider-Man had those
Yeah,
powers. The game.
yeah. It's a fun game. I might stream it one day. It's fun. All right. I'm actually pretty satisfied with myself for throwing you guys off like that. Not gonna lie.
That's why you're really enjoying it.
Yeah. All right, Luis, you're up.
All right. Okay, I'm also gonna have a good amount of blanks.
Okay.
Okay. Um, Blank and blank must use the power of the blank to save their galaxy from the evil crawl. Uh, Excavate blank with your blank. Awaken them with your blank. Uh, Customize and evolve them in the lab. Choose your team and prepare for epic battles. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah. Blank the game. What is that?
Like,
Wow, you got me. I
it
think
sounds
I know
kind
what
of basic.
Yeah, it is gonna be. You can kind of see it. It's tricky. So I think I know what it is. I would play it.
Should I do my
If
guess
it's the
first?
game that, if it's what? Sorry.
Should I do my
Oh,
guess first?
sure. Go ahead.
All right. So, actually, I don't have I don't have a guess. When we operate a guess, I don't have a guess. Um, yeah, I'm not gonna play this. It sounds too basic, and epic battles can be mean anything. It could be like turn-based or like strategy. So,
Okay.
and
You're
what
gonna
was the
pass.
enemy? What was the enemy called?
Crawl.
Crawl?
Yeah.
With
With
the
a
L or
K.
just okay? Oh, okay.
Krawl.
The
Crawl.
crawl. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna pass, and it sounds like a duo, and I don't have a guess for what that duo could be. So yeah, I don't have a guess for you, but a pass.
But you pass.
Yeah.
All right. You go first. Okay, so I'm pretty sure I know what the game is. I will play it, obviously because I've played it already. Um, my guess is Spectros? Spectros, I think that's what it's called. I forgot. Um, and I think the publisher was Disney, no? So I don't think it might not be that well known. If it is this game, I'm all going on a tangent here. Anyway, whatever. Yeah, I think it's Spectros, and I'm gonna play it. All right, so it's a play and a pass. It is indeed Spectros.
What the heck are you
And
picking, bruh?
Ray's probably like, "What the hell is that?"
What?
It was a DS game, a Nintendo DS game. Um, it
Okay.
was published by, well, it was like a Disney game, and basically you had there were like these creatures, and they were fossils, and you had to excavate them and then revive them, and they were like these little monsters. It was kind of like Pokemon-ish, um, and you created your team and you fought enemies with your team. You leveled them up and so on. Uh,
Hmm.
but yeah, um,
Okay.
yeah, it's very it's very like it's very cult.
I see. I see. So is it turn-based?
Eh, you know what? I don't even remember like
It's been that long
the
ago.
gameplay. Yeah, I
Dang.
think
Okay.
I think it might be. Is it turn-based? Is it turn-based? I don't think so. It's not, right? Damn. I actually have to go back and
But I mean, I think it
check.
was pretty successful because I think a Wii sequel came out. A
Yeah,
sequel for the Wii.
there was a sequel for that week.
No way.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess it got its fair, share of success.
After that, I don't even know if they're ever gonna continue it, but I mean, it's a pretty nice, cheap game to get.
Spectrobes. Oh, I see the box art. It looks pretty tight.
Yeah.
Whoa. I can see why you guys might have got this back in the day. All right. Spectrobes. I'll be honest, Luigi, I don't really look forward to you.
Yeah, I got you. 'Cause I tried to pick games that I played, but yeah, like I'm like running out of games that I played. I'm like scraping the barrel.
Yeah.
So I'll probably go with like other more well-known games in the future.
All right. I don't want to discourage you, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, yeah, no, I get it, I get it.
Okay. All right. So that's gonna do it for our podcast. We have been Roll Jump Media. If you'd like to follow us on YouTube, where we post this uh, recording, you may. We also stream on Twitch. We aim for every week. This past Friday, we streamed Super Mario 30 Brothers 35 and Monster Hunters Generations Ultimate, and we stream a whole bunch of other games. So check us out there if you can. And on our social medias, if you look up Roll Jump Media along with the social media that you prefer, we should be on there. We're on most of them. So, thank you for watching. And before we sign off, my panelists, do you have anything to say to our audience?
Thanks for tuning in, guys. Till
Thank
next
you.
time.
Hey, happy games.
Thank you, guys. We'll catch you next time.